episode is brought to you by EM Gold Wines Intesano. They are the importers and distributors of 12 different brands of wine from Spain and Italy. They sell at wholesale prices, and I'm sure when you call them, they'll make you a very good offer. Welcome back to Tuntum Network, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Cyrus. I'm happy to come your way again. In this episode, I want to talk about a specific topic on Ghana. And this is it. Ghana is not a wasteland, and certainly not a hopeless country like most Ghanaians would say. And I'm referring to Ghanaians living within and outside of the country. Most people will subconsciously, without thinking about it, say about Ghana, and they say it constantly. Imagine saying such words to your child constantly, every day, and see the psychological damage that would do to the prospect of your child. We do it to Ghana every now and then, and we don't even think about it. It is true that things are expensive. Prices of goods and services have gone through the roof. People's salaries are the same. People are living, hand to mouth, like we say it in Ghana, with no extra income, for savings or anything in their future. And some people don't have jobs at all. But hold on with your hateful words, because still right here in Ghana, we have people living in our societies, our communities, who are doing well, getting further education, whose businesses are booming, and who's traveling and doing fun things all over the place and showing it on social media. So the problem actually with people who say this is because they have not gotten to the point where something is working for them. They speak out of the frustration and the hardships that they are facing. And that is very, very real. I will not be naive. But I want you to come with me on this journey as I speak on this matter and the way forward. Let's go. Let me be totally honest with you, especially for Ghanaians who are not currently living in the country. It is so imbalanced in Ghana. The gap between the rich and the poor is so wide. We don't actually have a real middle class in Ghana. It is actually those who have and those who do not have. And on any given day, even for those who have, they could easily slip into the bracket of those who do not have. Governments have gone since independence, and governments have come. And the lives of people hasn't changed that much. You know this. So I wouldn't come here to lie to you. And for those who are really, surviving, those who are actually working hard and surviving in this country, they have so much pressure on their finances from family and friends. These are real things I wouldn't deceive anybody about. Take a look around you, and I'll be blunt on this subject. More than 90% of successful business people in Ghana, Ghanaians, at one point in their lives had to travel outside of the country to work for a certain period of time in either America, Europe, or somewhere before they came back with all that capital to start their businesses. Look at Kennedy Japan. Look at Nanado, our president. Look at Alan Chiramantin, and the list goes on and on and on, which leaves us with that question. Can't we make it from within? Which sometimes may be yes as an answer, and sometimes maybe no as an answer. But at the same time, you look at the businesses that are thriving in Ghana, where the top 10 successful businesses in Ghana are all foreign owned or foreign majority owned. That leaves us with a lot of questions again, to the point where I'm even wondering with, say, Kantanka Automobile, whether the company would survive when the old man is no more there. Whether the son, Kojo Safo, can be able to take the business from where the father is to a certain level when he's no more. And you only find a handful of transgenerational businesses, especially for the local Ghanaians, where the parents started the business, left it off to the children, and they expanded it and took it to a better level. These things are few in our society. And these are legitimate questions to ask. And I want to take you on that journey as I break it down and we look at alternatives and solutions to this problem. Let's go. If you look at our demeanor as a people, our politics, and our slow rate of development, you see that Ghana is not a serious country. And that is truth. Because if we were serious as a nation, we will know who we are, what we have, and what we can do with what we have. Our story is like a son or a child whose parents have left him a land full of gold and other precious minerals, but doesn't know how to go about it. Because we have so much and we don't know how to work it in our favor. And that is the misery. This is where I turn your neck to the real important things you should be focusing on. Put the country aside for a minute. Ghana is actually the center of the world. We are literally in the middle of the world. I mean, this is where longitude 0 and latitude 0 meets in Tema. Maybe this is one of the reasons why US presidents continually come here. What does that mean? To have a time zone that is UTC 0000. I don't know. But this one thing alone is capable of bringing us so much tourism money that we don't have to touch a lot of different things. This is where the greatest African leader ever came from. Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. His story alone in his fight for independence for Africa is good enough to make us blockbuster movies of international standard. You cannot even touch the story and the power, the influence of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. without bringing in the story of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Because it was through his struggle for the independence of the Gold Coast and the rest of Africa and the struggle for the unity of Africa that inspired Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to do what he did. These are all factual. How can you say Ghana is nothing when all these great people I'm about to give you, a few of them, all hail from here? How can you say that? Is it because of the disappointment you have in governments in and governments out? We all have it. But we have to look at the bigger picture and how we can individually improve and make this country work for ourselves. The list goes like this. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Kofi Annan. Hold on a minute. From this small country, Ghana, you mean Kofi Annan? The 7th United Nations Secretary General of the world came from here. Do you know how many countries there are in the world and how many people are qualified to hold that position? He did it first. Do you know the kind of movies and TV series and documentaries that we could produce from his story alone? David Ajayi, internationally acclaimed architect who built the National Museum of African American History and Culture in the Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States of America. Dr. Thomas Mensah, inventor of fiber optics. Ave Kludze, first African ever to command and control a spacecraft in the orbit. Your favorite off-white brand that you love so much was founded by a Ghanaian, Virgil Abloh, who passed away recently. Do you know all these? These are all great people we've had in this country. You may not be enjoying the country as it is now, but things are about to change. So hold on with your negativity because it doesn't remain like this forever. How can you look down on your country so much, yet great people like W.E.B. Du Bois became a citizen of Ghana before his death? How can you say this about Ghana when we have over 375,000 foreigners living here? If it wasn't that good, you think all these people will live here and work here and study here? Certainly not. The real challenge that I see from this country actually is this, that we don't have opportunities. Because when you have a stable government, when you have political stability, when you have stable electricity, and you can move freely in the country, then you need opportunity to put to use the talents and the skill set that you have. Because you can be the smartest, the wisest, the best baker, the best filmmaker, the best sportsman, the best of whatever. Until you get the opportunity to put it to use, it will only be in your head. And that is the real challenge we have in this country. How do we create opportunities for ourselves? Put aside the government for now. Buy lands. I want to take this opportunity to speak to you, Ghanaians living outside of the country. This is free consultation. Buy lands. Very soon, there is going to be a massive change in our politics that will change the prospect of this country. There will be different forms of investments coming into Ghana. I'm telling you, buy lands. Foreigners are buying lands, and it's about time you also bought lands. Foreigners are buying them, and they are buying them in acres. I have personally led many foreigners to buy lands Do not be fooled by naysayers to believe nothing good is happening in the country. If that were true, no foreigner will put their money in lands in Ghana. God is creating people by the day, but he's not creating more lands. Be wise. The population used to be 20 million just some 20 years ago. Today, we are over 30 million people. You cannot live where you are forever. You will grow old and conditions there won't be in your favor forever. This is home. So at some point, you have to be looking back on this country and how to plan your coming back home. Buy lands. I'm promising you, this will be the best investment you would make. And do you know why I'm stressing on buying lands? Because this is where it all begins. This is how you attract investors and start businesses from anywhere. If you don't have lands, you don't have equity. Lands are so crucial, and so you should get the lands. Nowhere is far, and keep that thing out of your mind. Because the moment you say it is far, then my question is, far from where? Where are you going that is so far from you that you cannot buy the land from there? Buy the land, set up your business there, give yourself 5 years, put up estates there. In 5 years, you come back and the whole dynamics of the area is changed. Listen, times have changed. Shopping malls, whatever you call them, they are all over the place in Ghana today. It is not like you left it. So stop thinking in that direction. You haven't been thinking like a businessman for a long time. And it's about time you started thinking like a real businessman who sees opportunities and grabs it with both hands. Opportunities are everywhere in Ghana today, trust me. From agribusiness to real estate business to tourism. It is scattered all across the country. Filmmaking. What do you want to do? Look at how that actor in Ghana, Yaudabo, started a small football academy. Today, he's all over Europe, meeting teams. This is how it starts. It starts small and then it grows big. This is not the time to save money. Money saving you make you poor. I'm telling you, it is about time you put it into investment. I had this Chinese friend who came from China, I think 3 years ago. He came to visit. And then he came again and he told me he wanted to do business in Ghana. I took him to a town outskirt of the eastern region. Since that time to now, he started a pure water business. Go see how he has expanded the business in that area. It was so small when we started at the point. Today, he's making it so big out there. This is how it is. Foreigners are seeing it and they are taking advantage of it. When do you want to make that decision to come back home and kickstart something for your own self? Invest in maize farming. Invest in snail farming. Send us an email. Get a simple business proposal for whatever you want to do. Don't wait for $1 million before you come home. You keep saving and waiting to get $1 million before you come to Ghana. Do you know what $10,000 in Ghana can do for you in terms of business? You have no idea. Things start small and then they get big. That's how real things happen. For those who are watching me from Ghana, even if you are very, very poor, it's pretty simple. If you can get yourself to a construction site, today in Ghana, laborer's charge is about 100 Ghana cedis to 150 Ghana cedis. If you can get yourself to do a laborer's job and can raise up to 2,000 Ghana cedis, there is so much you can do with it, and you don't even know about it. There was this guy who came to me the other day, I think 1 year ago, and I had to advise him and see his situation and all that. I made him set up a vulcanizing shop. Today, he's bought all the machines that he needs, and he wants to expand and make it big. It always starts small. No money is small if you have a direction for what you want to use it for. Trust me. For the regular government worker or the regular salaried worker in Ghana, I feel you guys have so much opportunities to the point where I sometimes think you are either having too much responsibilities on your hand, or you are not smart, or maybe both. Why am I saying this? Because your industry is one of the few industries in Ghana where banks and microfinance are always chasing you with monies as loans. And guess what you guys take the money for? You take money to build houses for your pension, which you have like 30 years away. Don't you see the money goes into it and never comes back? You take loans in this day and age to buy refrigerator and to buy carpet and air conditioning and what have you? Seriously? There is so much business ventures you could put the money into that can bring you returns, that easily you can get money out of it and do for yourself the things that you want to do. I wonder what is going on here. And for the big men in Ghana, you keep buying houses and cars and wasting money on slave queens as if they are getting finished. You have house on the mountaintop, you have house in the valley. You have house in Accra, you have house in Kumasi, and you hardly go to these places. When the money gets stuck into these things and doesn't come back, we could actually put these monies into businesses that will bring you more money and give you a more respectful name in society than where you have placed all these monies. It's about time we get things done differently in Ghana. Finally, let's get our mindset right about our country. Let's take the responsibility of developing our country seriously. Let's invest in businesses and jobs in this country. Let's improve every corner of our lives on a daily basis. And remember this, that the rest of Africa is always looking at us. And the reason is simple, because it all started here. Until I come your way again, it's bye-bye for now.